A painting sells for $450 million, the most expensive object ever sold at auction. The buyer? Anonymous. The seller? Undisclosed. The auction house promised it would go to a museum. That was 8 years ago. No museum has displayed it. No gallery has shown it. Even the curators who were supposed to exhibit it won't say where it is. $500 million. Vanished. Where do you hide the most expensive painting in history? The same place billionaires hide everything else. In plain sight. Two names control the art world: Christie's and Sotheby's. If you want to sell a Rembrandt, you call them. If you want to buy a Rothko, you call them. There are other auction houses, but none that move the needle. Together, they moved $16 billion worth of art last year. They know every serious collector on Earth. When the hammer falls, the price becomes global news. Warhol's Marilyn, $195 million. The Rockefeller collection, $835 million. But here's what they don't advertise. Try walking into a bank with $10,000 in cash. They demand ID. They report it to the IRS. They have to. Same with casinos. Same with car dealerships. But walk into an auction house with $10 million, nobody asks, nobody reports. You can buy a $50 million Monet, and the auction house will never verify who you actually are. This anonymity makes it the perfect washing machine for dirty money. And the auction houses? They're charging admission at the door. They take a cut from the seller, up to 25%. Then they charge the buyer another 25%. One sale, 2 minutes of bidding, $50 million in fees. But that's public money. The real game happens in the dark. Private sales, no auction floor, no records. Sotheby's alone made $1.4 billion this way in 1 year. And then there are the free ports. Warehouses in Geneva, Singapore, Delaware. Biometric scanners, armed guards. Inside, over 1 million pieces of art. Estimated value, $100 billion. Technically, this art is in transit. It hasn't entered any country, so it pays no tax. Buy a Picasso in London, ship it to Geneva, keep it there for a decade, sell it for a 500% profit. You owe the government exactly $0. It's an alternate economy. But in 1995, the two giants of this economy got greedy. Christie's announced fixed commission rates. Weeks later, Sotheby's announced the exact same thing. The market noticed, but what could they do? It was a duopoly. For years, they colluded. But in 2000, Christie CEO Christopher Davidge realized the game was up. He made a cold calculation. Better to be the witness than the defendant. He walked into the US Department of Justice with 500 pages of documents, secret meetings, price fixing, a cartel operating in plain sight. Alfred Taubman, the billionaire owner of Sotheby's, guilty, sentenced to 1 year and a day in federal prison. Diana Brooks, the CEO, house arrest. The auction houses paid $512 million to settle the lawsuits. You'd think this would clean up the industry. You'd be wrong, because price fixing is just a white-collar crime. The real issue is who the customers are. Let's talk about the Rotenberg brothers, Arkady and Boris, childhood friends of Vladimir Putin. The US sanctions them for the invasion of Crimea. Their assets in America are frozen. They are financial pariahs. 2 months later, a man walks into Sotheby's, New York. He buys 10 paintings, Chagall, Braque, $6.8 million. Over the next few months, purchases totaling $18 million. The buyer, on paper, an American art advisor named Gregory Baltzer. But the money didn't come from him. It flowed through shell companies in Panama and the Marshall Islands. Senate investigators eventually traced every cent back to the Rotenbergs, sanctioned oligarchs moving millions through the heart of New York City. Did the auction houses know? They claim they didn't. They never asked the hard questions, because in the art world, asking questions is bad for business. A Senate report called the industry a veil of secrecy, but secrecy is the product. Which brings us back to the painting that vanished. Salvator Mundi, the savior of the world. Its journey is the perfect symbol of this entire system. A small auction in New Orleans. 2 dealers buy a dark, damaged painting for $1,175. It looks like a cheap copy. But after years of restoration, they make a stunning claim. This is a lost Leonardo da Vinci. Experts argue, curators fight, but the National Gallery in London puts it on the wall. That stamp of approval was worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Christie's, New York. The marketing campaign is relentless. The Last Da Vinci. Bidding opens at $75 million. It jumps to $200 million, then $300 million. At $400 million, the room stops breathing. One final bid. Sold. $450 million. The buyer? Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. It was supposed to be the centerpiece of the Louvre Abu Dhabi, but weeks before the unveiling, it was pulled. Why? Because the French experts at the Louvre in Paris had doubts. They examined the painting secretly. Their conclusion: Leonardo contributed to it, but he didn't paint the whole thing. It was a workshop piece. The Saudis demanded it be shown next to the Mona Lisa as 100% authentic. The French refused. One curator said displaying it would be laundering a $450 million artwork. So the painting disappeared. Some say it's on a super yacht, some say it's in a Swiss vault. It has not been seen in public for 8 years. So who actually pays the price in this world? Alfred Taubman served 10 months. He died a billionaire. The Roenbergs are still sanctioned, but they likely still own their art. Gregory Balzer, never charged. The art market is still largely unregulated. The US Treasury Department calls it vulnerable to money laundering. But the lobbyists fight every attempt at oversight. They say it would hurt the market. And they are right. It would. Because the market is built on the shadows. For the ultra-wealthy, art isn't about beauty. It's a currency. A portable, invisible, tax-free currency. That $450 million painting, it started as a $1,000 gamble. It became a geopolitical bargaining chip. And now, it's a ghost. Somewhere right now, the most expensive object in history sits in the dark. No one looks at it. No one enjoys it. It doesn't matter if it's real or fake. It only matters what it's worth.